What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about Ukraine, sending money to Ukraine. Should we be doing this? I've had a lot of people. I posted a video yesterday. I was talking about the $14 billion, the plan to send that to Ukraine. And in the comment section of that video, there were a lot of people that were saying, why are we sending money to Ukraine? Why are we sending billions of dollars? Will they be paying this money back? So I want to talk about this. I want to talk about it because I think it's very important. But first off, on this channel, we talk about financial news and what's going on in Washington, D.C. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's talk about this. So the plan is that we'll send about $14 billion to Ukraine. Now, that's a lot of money. Now, the whole budget that we're looking at, this omnibus bill that they're trying to work through Congress, is going to be about $1.5 trillion. And so this is a very small portion of that $1.5 trillion. But when it comes down to it, it is a lot of money. We're talking billions of dollars going to Ukraine to help them with it's a humanitarian mission is what we're doing, because obviously we're in a situation where we can't go into Ukraine and help fight against Russia. That starts World War III. That's not going to happen. And so all we can do is supply them with weapons and whatever they need when it comes down to the situation that's going on right now. Now, I know that in the U.S., people are struggling. Okay, a lot of people are struggling. I want you to let me know in the comments section how you're struggling as far as the things that have happened in the last couple of years. But I think most people will agree that the people who are really struggling right now are people who are losing their lives in Ukraine. And we're seeing this day after day. We're seeing this play out. We're seeing women, children being killed. There was a situation, and I don't know if you saw it, but it was all over the news a couple of days ago, where this family was trying to evacuate. They were trying to get out of the city, and they were bombed. I mean, they bombed the city, and they ended up dying from this. And it was tragic, and you had some journalists there, photographers that were taking pictures, and they actually took a picture of this just to show the cruelty of war. And there are a lot of people that are really struggling and that need help at this point in Ukraine. And I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think in this situation, I think it's warranted to send them money. And we're not the only country doing this. Obviously, you have other countries that are also helping out. And we have to think back to 9/11. When we had 9/11 here, there weren't a lot of countries financially that were helping us because we didn't really need the money financially. But there were a lot of countries that were helping us, that were on our side. We had people in Afghanistan that were helping us, and they had no skin in the game. They were doing it just because they wanted to see the people who were responsible for this, they wanted to see them captured. And so when it comes down to situations like this, global situations, I think it's okay for us to reach out and try to help. And if that means that we need to help them financially, I think that's the right thing to do. Now, that does not negate anything that's going on in the U.S., and we still have our problems, and we're still focused on inflation and all these different things that are going on. And some of the inflation that we're seeing now is going to be a result of what's going on in Ukraine with Russia and oil and all this stuff. So when it comes down to it, some of the help that we're providing now might help to lower our inflation in the long run. And so if you look at it that way, it is an investment in certain situations. So this is something I think needs to happen, but I want to know what you guys think about it, because I had a lot of people say that. Why are we sending money? Why are we sending money to Ukraine when we have problems here of our own? And I agree. Like I said, I agree at 100%. There are a lot of things that are going on in this country. There are a lot of people that are struggling right now. But when we're watching this day after day, we're watching people dying in Ukraine, being murdered. We won't just say dying. We're talking about being murdered. Okay, we're watching people be murdered in Ukraine. We have to do something. And I think the average person that looks at this will say, yes, you know what? We need to do that all we can. We can't go in and fight, which we don't want to do that, because we don't want to start a conflict with Russia and have a situation where we have World War III and nobody wins in that situation. And so I just want to know what you guys think about this. And just reading the comments, I was comment after comment, people were saying that same thing. We shouldn't be sending money to Ukraine. We shouldn't be sending money to Ukraine. We should be keeping the money here. And part of me understands what you're saying, but then another part of me says, look, this is a situation that is like no other right now. This is a situation that needs to be addressed right now, I think. And if we can provide any assistance, I think it's the appropriate time to do it right now. We can't wait, because the longer we wait, the more people are murdered, and we can't have that happen. So I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm opening up this discussion, so in the comment section, let me know. And I will be reading a lot of the comments, because I try to read as many as I can, but sometimes there's so many that I can't read. But I want to know how you guys feel about this. And I'll also put a poll up too. So in this video, in the comment section at the very, very top, I'll pin a poll. So I want to see what you guys think in the poll. Oh yeah, one more thing. I will be going on a trip in the next few days. So I'm going to be out there for about a month, but I'll still be putting out daily news. However, I am going to add some of the travel aspects. So I'm going to Colombia. So I'm going to show you guys some of Colombia. I have a video that I've already edited. I will be showing you that video in the near future as well. And I want to talk a lot about travel and how, if you are on a tight budget, how you can travel, one, and how you can save money when you travel, depending on where you go, what destinations you go to. And there are a lot of people out there that are expatriates or expats, and they're living in other countries. Sometimes they live there for 6 months. Sometimes they live there for the whole year, and they are doing really well. They're striving, and some of them their income is like $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month. So I'm going to be putting out some videos that's going to be addressing that too, just so you know that there are other options out there. You might be in a situation where you are really struggling right now and you're thinking, I can't pay my bills. Well, guess what? There are other opportunities out there. If you have a passport, you can travel to some of these countries. You can stay for 3 months, 6 months. You can even stay for a year, or you can stay indefinitely if you want. So this is one of the things that I've really been passionate about, and I'm very, very intrigued and interested, because I talk to a lot of people when I travel, a lot of people that are from the US that are living in these countries, and they are doing really well. And it's amazing to people. If you've never traveled, it's amazing when you go to these other countries and you see people from the US and you think, why are they there? Why are you here? Why aren't you in the US? And they lay it out. They tell you, look, I can live here on $1,000 a month, live comfortably on $1,000 a month. So I just want to prepare you for that. Yes, we're going to continue putting out the daily content, but I'm also going to add some of this, because I think this is something that will be shocking to a lot of people, one, and it might help you. You might be looking at this video and saying, you know what? I want to give it a shot. I want to go to Colombia and see what it's all about. Or I want to go to Costa Rica, or I want to go to Thailand, or I want to go to one of these countries where the dollar is really strong, because in a lot of these countries, the dollar is so strong. When you get off the plane, you've tripled your money or quadrupled your money. So I'm just forewarning you, that will be coming in the future. And so, like I said earlier, if you guys have any questions, post them down below, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.